Welcome everyone to a new Spearhead cast with me, Mthis. We got a Western Front battle for you all. Let's go through the players, shall we? We have Possum Pie playing as the United States of America without having picked a commander yet. We have BA-13 playing as US Mechanized Company, getting some riflemen and some mechanized infantry immediately out the gate. For the Axis side, we have Q playing as the Waffen-SS without a commander yet, and JC as the Waffen-SS without a commander. We'll keep an eye on whenever they pick something. Looks like Q is pushing up very aggressively already, while the Americans are slowly coming out of the base and securing territory. BH-18 has gone for mechanized, which allows him to get the 2nd Mechanized Division cavalry troopers, who are actually really useful. However, they lack any anti-tank equipment. That said, they are pretty good early on infantry you can get. Back in the day, they actually used to arrive with a BAR, which made them way too strong in all honesty. It looks like Q is being very aggressive with the Storm Pioneers, pushing up behind this broken down Broom Bear, opening fire on the echelon. We don't see a commander pick yet from oh, we see Leibstandarte here for JC. Double Sturm Grenadiers from the 1st SS Leibstandarte. Ooh, that is quite a risky position to be in with so many Americans. Especially with the pineapple grenade right behind them. Ooh! That actually did not do too much. But they have to retreat. There's no way they can hold that. Especially not against American infantry like that. They do get away though. Looks like the Americans are pushing up on the other flanks too. Some riflemen standing behind the cover there and some Storm Pioneers waiting behind the truck. However, there's a cutoff point here that must be captured in order to get resources from the center. We see more cavalry troopers coming in. Yeah, it looks like the Pioneers are not going to be able to sell those sandbags easy. But the Germans are keeping an eye on this fuel point from this makeshift trench area. Also using all the old down vehicles here in the muddy fields of Reichswald. Oh, the Storm Grenadiers though are, however, really competent infantry early on, but they are expensive. They are taking the fight to the mechanized troops, but a grenade is coming over the house. Ooh, and that might actually turn the battle in the favor of the Americans. We have a Kugelwagen with a 42 coming up, trying to keep an eye on the center point, I assume. The MG42 is dangerous, but Storm Grenadiers have been killed in the center. We have 30 cal coming off the Americans. Mac is still having a firefight here with Q, fighting over the muddy fields. More Americans coming out, some a recon squad and a 30 cal. Americans are pushing a lot onto the field early on. Oh, Storm Grenadiers went down to direct M1 Garand fire right there. Ooh, not looking good. Marksman rifles supplied to the Storm Grenadiers out in the open. That's going to allow them to usually win in long-range fights off cover to cover.
Supply half-track is in action. Standing by for setting of command post.
Looks like the Germans are somewhat taking the field, but the Germans have lost a lot of troops early on, especially up north. Recon infantry is trying to sneak up. Very smart idea. Americans set up a fighting position for this house here. Machine guns covering this field. Very nice to see. That's an MG34, I assume. 30 cal covering this cutoff point. Kugelwagen trying to suppress the the American position. Not working that well out for them. But America still needs to take this point in order to get any resources from the top here. And while the Germans still hold the fuel point out here in the fields, we're just going to give them a little bit of a fuel head start. Still no commander choice from Q yet. And still nothing from Possum Pie either. Looks like Americans taking the chance to secure this point now. Combat Engineers being called in as well. Another unique unit to the Mechanized Division. Very good unit. Very good for assaulting, obviously. The Pioneers are going to try and deny them, but it's too late. And there is a vertical here now that can cover the place.
We have
Lieutenant reporting in for duty.
Not looking too well for the Mthis here.
Combat engineers on the line.
More Storm Grenadiers are coming in. Storm Grenadiers are very expensive, but they are very good if you can keep them alive. Now he's playing as Panzer, which means he could actually go for Hitlerjugend if he wants a cheaper infantry alternative. Which I generally personally go for if I ever play them. Because I find having a few more troops out in the field early can actually be a very big advantage. Especially as Waffen-SS, where you're generally lacking in early field troops. Oh, a smoke grenade, I think. Yes, enable. Recon coming out for the Germans on the southern flank here to keep an eye on the American recon. Very dangerous position to fight in. The Americans have this area really well locked down. Crossfire and everything. That Coop has to get out of there. More Storm Grenadiers have arrived for the fatherland. MG34 inside this shit. The Kugelwagen does have a very good weapon here. It's an MG42, but it has to hit. That's a smoke grenade. Very smart by the mechanized troops. Forcing it to get closer, that's easier to hit. Oh, the Americans are trying to set up a fighting position. Very smart idea.
One of our fighting positions is sustaining fire.
But they're being pinned down already by the Kugelwagen.
A capture point is under attack.
I think the Kugelwagen and the Sturm Grenadiers might have enough to take care of this fighting position. It looks like the Germans got this area covered. Meanwhile, German recon are moving up, and American recon, they might spot each other soon. No commander choice from either yet. Looks like we have a very quiet front of the south. Americans are getting mortars though. They've been spotted just as the American ones have been spotted. And we'll have a little bit more of a firefight here in the center. Oh, German recon got killed. Oh, that sucks. Germans have a little bit more of a firefight going on here with the Americans. Commandeers are doing that well at this range though. The Storm Grenadiers are way better at long range combat.
Scout vehicle ready.
Lieutenant has arrived for the Americans. AT gun come out for the Americans too. The Germans have teched up, but they're not going for any vehicles because they don't have the vehicle truck. Anti-Daisy is not teched up yet, I think. But the Storm Grenadiers are starting to get ground. Double Kugelwagen with MT-42. That could be risky, but it could also pay off. But these riflemen do have anti-tank grenades, unlike the mechanized riflemen. And they're being shot from all angles here. Artillery coming in for the lieutenant.
Let's get her going.
Doesn't look like the Germans are doing too well this time. Oh, that is a Funk. That's a Funkwagen, so a command vehicle, essentially a radio vehicle, and it's already getting a fire for effect, 8 centimeters. That might actually be a good way to push up with, or at least do some denial. We have some Hitler Youth coming in now. Oh, he also went Panzer, so we have double Panzer. That can really escalate later on. As SS Panzer is actually very diverse as a commander. The Hitler Youth allows them to get a cheaper infantry option and they get access to good tanks. And I believe all their officers are mounted in vehicles, which is another handy feature to have. Which is actually why we saw the Funkwagen. Here we have a 12th SS Hitler Youth. A very fanatical division made up of recruits from the Hitler Youth. Pretty hard nutcases, like several SS divisions were. Not sure what the Germans plan to do, but the Germans are planning to take up by looks of it. US has gone for Ranger. Possum Pie has gone for Ranger Division. So we have Mechanized and Ranger Division. Very good commands and working together. Looks like we have a slow recon plane flying across too. But it got shot down by the flak. Bunkerwagen is getting ready to push up. We have a... Oh! The Rifleman being armed with marksman because he's Ranger. Cheeky move. Very cheeky move. And we'll have the M16 coming up here. The crowd mower. Armed with quad 50 cals. This thing is exceptionally lethal to German infantry and German light vehicles. Oh, but the recon got killed. But the quad mower is just mowing the Germans down behind the cover. And also killing the half-track. Because the half-track is not going to be armored enough to stop a 50 cal. Especially not 4 of them. We have a Ranger Lieutenant here. I wonder what the Germans are going to plan to do to try and make a comeback here. We're seeing a Pack 40 coming out here for the Southern SS forces. But this is a big Panzer, SS Panzer division that the Americans have stumbled upon. And oh, the Americans going to try and make a push northwards here. Find the slugs at MG34. Being armed with drum magazine Thompsons and bazookas and carbines here. Back to the shed and the truck here. We have somewhat of cover. We're just gonna help to take out this shed here. They're actually calling in artillery on it. Going a little bit aggressive, I'd say. They're also trying to make a move because of that though, but the American MG is covering the way.
You've got a captain hitting the field.
There we go. Pineapple killed them all. Looks like the Americans have made a push down south, I missed. Seems the Americans want to push across the entire front here. Oh, Kugelwagen actually flanked the MG here. But now it's gonna hit. Now it's gonna hit by other American units. Not looking too well for the Germans. Meanwhile, the crowd mower is making it very difficult for the SS to keep behind their cover position. But now an anti-tank gun is underway, which should help deal with that.
We can deploy 105mm artillery barrages at your convenience.
Looks like the Northern SS force is going for vehicles, which might be able to fight against the Americans here. But the Americans have gotten access to bazookas now for their mechanized troops. Also have an ambulance driving around reinforcing the troops on the fields. Very nice to see. Looks like the crowd mower went down thanks to the Pack 40. Now the Germans are going to have the hard fight of taking back the Marshes there. The flooded fields. The officer is, however, still available. So very handy. He was getting his second truck. American mortar shells landing around. Oh, that's a mortar half-track. Oh, very nice. They're really bringing the hurt to the SS here.
Crew ready.
Ah, we see double nukes. That could work out if not for the bazookas. If they can circumvent the bazookas, the double nukes might just be lethal enough to take out most of the infantry. We do have an A2 coming out now for the Americans. So Sherman's on the fields, which the Lux is not going to be able to fight. Artillery going in at the German position here. Couple Luxes. Let's see what JC can do with them. And while Q is still trying to hold up the southern flank here. He is starting to arm his Storm Grenadiers with with machine guns, including the Hitler Youth. They've been armed with an MG-34. Well, the Sturm Grenadiers have been armed with an MG-42. Oh, the officer's holding a charge. Deutschland über alles. I might just be to get to cover quickly. Oh, Command Panzer IV F1 has arrived as well to provide close combat support for all the Waffen-SS. Looks like the Luxus are preparing some kind of pincer maneuver. Pulling down artillery on the ranger position here. That's a fire for effect, which means everything in this circle, the longer it stays, is going to get bombarded by artillery. The Americans are making the wise move and pulling out of there. Lux is actually armored enough to not get penetrated by the Sherman ones. That's impressive.
We've lost a squad of infantry. Under attack! Counter!
So the Germans are pushing up very aggressively, though.
Forward elements report an infantry unit lost.
And the Germans have to be aggressive here. He's using another Deutschland über alles. That might just be the one he already used. Oh, he's trying to drive up with the bazooka. Not the wisest move. Indeed not.
Light vehicle destroyed.
Now the F1's command panzers present, pulling down artillery here. Look at it, it's going to be a 15-centimeter precision shot right in the building. Destroying the American forward fighting base immediately. Counter artillery is coming in here in the form of a fire for effect.
Get ready. Stand by.
But the Germans have retaken this fuel point. Germans are very much on the defensive now at the moment, though. But the SS might be able to turn this around if they can hold long enough for more tanks. Issue is they are facing a Ranger and a Mechanized, and the Ranger is getting double A2s. An A3 coming up for Mechanized. The A3 is like an improved version of the A2. Because it's mounted on the HVSS chassis, the same chassis that the EC8 is mounted on. Which allows it to be a lot more accurate on the move. Because of its suspension and gyroscope, I believe. It might actually just be suspension. I just know it allowed the turret to be exceptionally stable and accurate while essentially on full speed. So very handy. I think it has full accuracy on the move compared to the other Shermans. So essentially A3 and the EC8 has that. The Germans have to be careful here.
Ready to execute.
Yes, he is digging in, trying to buy some time, I imagine. He's probably waiting to be able to set up his final truck. Yeah, he could actually set it up now. Which will allow him to get panzers. Looks like he's going for it. Or they are going for it. Indeed, they got the heavy... they got this Panzerhauptquartier coming up. Panzer headquarters. Problem is, that is a lot of Shermans right there, and it looks like the Americans are not gonna wait around. So the United States is making their move. Or wants to make their move. Len Corbett to try and buy the Leibstandarte down here sometime. Actual Leibstandarte Grenadiers here. Panzer Grenadiers. A division made from, I believe, Hitler's very own bodyguard units that was turned into a Panzer division. So very fanatical generally. Very Nazi. They have 40 centimeter, not 40, 7.5 centimeters, so a 40 millimeter. It's a Pack 40, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say it's a Pack 40.
Standing by.
Okay, looks like the fire turned into a little bit of a mortar fight. At least the Americans were bombing the German positions with mortars.
Lay footings for Panzer
Pack 40 will definitely try and buy the Germans some time, but that is a lot of Shermans.
Fire!
Looks like they're digging out smoke. Oh, they're trying to get rid of the tank traps. Ah, okay, I see what they're doing. And here the ships are making a move. The pack is too far up. And the ships are arming high explosives. And now the Americans are pushing up with everything they got and smoking the position too. Playing very American here, it's good to see. Really showing the versatility of American Shermans. This pack is not going to be able to do much, I think. We do have a Stuk coming out though. Stuk free aus G.
Assault gun ready for action. Our resource sector has been cut off from our supply chain.
And the flag is surprisingly getting penetrations now and then. And while the southern German position is also being bombarded heavily by the Americans. Stuk is getting into the field though. Getting out rid of the A3. Oh, but high explosive straight on the Feldhauptquartier. But the Stuk got rid of both Germans. The Stuk has almost immediately shown its worth there. I don't think the German position can hold for much longer. The American tanks are just coming onto the field now en masse.
Unit ready.
And the Germans are trying to make a retreat back.
Ready. Go ahead.
Oh, but high explosive got them.
Return fire. Return fire.
And the Americans are now just threatening the German base here.
Standing by. Send orders.
That bazooka is really giving them a lot of an advantage here. And now the Germans are pushing up on the central front here. Germans are being pushed all the way back to their base.
An anti-tank gun has taken.
Looks like the Stuk is operational again. But Americans seem to somewhat have the Germans pinned down entirely.
Is ready for order.
I don't see them lasting much longer.
Artillery barrages are available at your convenience.
And while Q's trying to set up another front here. Trying to halt the American push as best as he can. But it might not be enough. High explosive round coming in from the Stuk here. Didn't hit anything though. Looks like the exhaust is damaged. And while the Shermans are pushing up on the other flank here. By high explosives. Oh, and the packs! Oh, this is lethal. The Americans are pushing in the other flank too.
Headquarters under attack.
Not sure what the truck is trying to do. Oh, it took a bazooka shot for the Stuk.
Leave out! Get out! Supply hub truck destroyed. Dispatching alternate command truck now.
Yeah, the Germans being overrun. The SS have been encircled, and the Americans continue to push into Germany. A valiant but foolish attempt by the Waffen-SS to try and hold the United States of America at bay. But the Americans cannot be stopped so easily. And the A-3s are just mowing down everything. And here the SS surrendered, getting encircled completely by the American forces. I hope you all enjoyed this one, and the Western Front looks brutal as ever. I'll see you next time, everyone. Bye bye!